How ready and realistic do you think it is that the IDF is going to actually go in and finish off the job inside the Gaza Strip anytime soon, in the case that Turkey, Qatar are part of the border peace, and in the case that they're not?
Being a part of the board of peace or other aspects of accountability for past actions, but also wanting them in the room, whether that's Qatar. And if you remember during the 20-point peace plan negotiations, Qatar was told to have Al Jazeera knock it off with the anti-Israel entire messaging, and it was an immediate change. And I think that U.S. administration and others like that capability of having somebody who, again, and even Qatar's support housing of the Hamas, and they'll say, well, you asked us to do that, you being past administrations and others. So having them in the room, for me, accountable. I don't want, of course, Turkey, boots on the ground, which is actually an aspect of what does it mean, and then a charter of which permanent administration, all of this. The ideals of what's called the International Stabilization Force has radically changed as this is hard, right? Getting countries together and with a shared vision and understanding of what actually needs to happen on the ground. One, admit the reality of Hamas is not a member of anything. There is no such thing as Hamas in the future. Even what was planned, I think, in the International Stabilization Force, as this continues to go forward, didn't play out, whether that's a country saying, I will send troops, and now we're in this waiting pattern as these behind closed doors conversations of who's going to be a part, who's giving what. And I think that that could actually be something that assists Israel in even getting to a point, but there is no other force that I believe that will actually be engaged in close combat with what is Hamas today, which is not what is Hamas October 6th, to convince them that they have no future. I think it is highly likely that an ultimatum will be given. Hamas will refuse that ultimatum and will try to negotiate like it is with its mediators, Turkey, Qatar, and others, of withholding some type of weaponry, whether it's not big weapons or others, and that the IDF are preparing their plans and their multiple contingency planning of actually deploying forces to conduct operations in a very Israel way to start to do that disarmament piece by piece. It isn't adhering to a peace deal. Highly likely, in my opinion, the IDF redeployed in close combat with Hamas to convince them to get to the point of complete disarmament. And the number one point of the 20-point peace plan, that Gaza will be a de-radicalized, demilitarized zone